The way I saw it, again, I'm completely biased because I want them both to extend their contract. But with Neymar, we know that is very much agreed, and it's just a question of timing and when you announce it.
Is this also because, Neymar's case, realistically, there's nowhere else for him to go? Like,
not on that money, that's for
he
sure.
makes an enormous amount of money. He's not just motivated by money. I believe few players are, but equally, there's talk of him going back to Barcelona, but the reality is they can't afford him in any way, shape, or form. He's not going to go to Real Madrid. Probably doesn't see the appeal in the Premier League. United maybe could afford him if they really wanted him, but they ain't going to go there.
And he's 29.
And he's 29.
29.
So yeah.
Time is running out. Yeah, I think so. And also, I think he's happy now in Paris. As we've explained before on the show, it was quite tough at the beginning for just him to adapt and the change between Barcelona and Paris and all of that. I think he's happy now. For Mbappe, it's a different
kettle of fish.
Yeah, one, because he's much younger, of course, 22 years of age, because I think he has so much ambition at this time of his career that he wants to go to a bigger club and winning big things and all of that, whether that's Real Madrid or Liverpool or Bayern Munich. I mean, wherever he wants to go, he will be able to. So there's far more at stake, I think, on this one. And Kylian isn't sure to stay, and if he stays, it's not just for one season. He wants to stay for quite a big chunk and then go somewhere else, or do you go now? But again, who can offer you financially the kind of wages that you want and that PSG are ready to give you? So there's so much there's so much to take in when you talk about Kylian Mbappe's contract negotiation and extension. That when I saw the quote that you tweeted, Gab, about we will all be happy, I'm like, okay, maybe they have found an agreement with Mbappe and his family for him to stay. I don't know for how long, but certainly to extend that contract so he doesn't have just 1 year left this summer.
All right, if I were advising Mbappe, and I'd love to get you both your views on this, and I wrote a piece about this, it's up on the website too, about the power of the release clause. If I was advising Mbappe, and I would say, hey, look, here's how I insulate myself. My contract's winding down. I say, okay, yeah, look, I'll stay. I'll sign a 5-year deal. I don't need a big raise, give you a hometown discount, whatever. But let's put a reasonable release clause in here. Maybe even the release clause the difficulty here is that obviously they spent a ton of money to get him.
Yeah.
But if you do a 5-year deal and a release clause at like 130, 140, 150, you are somewhat insulated. Paris Saint-Germain know that they have to keep you happy every year, and you benefit and you give yourself more options.
Yeah, so release clauses are not allowed in France. However, you could have something quite similar that you make kind of
a
legal,
private agreement.
Yeah, something like that. And I think you're right, and I think PSG would be very happy to do that. And maybe that's the way of an agreement. Okay, you extend and then we put that price, and whenever someone comes with that price, whether it's next season, 2022 or 2023 or whenever, then we let you go.
Derek, since we have you on this subject of release clauses and turning it over to Haaland, I was surprised. Like I saw my old buddy Didi Hamann, who I watched a 2000. I'm so old that I watched a 2007 Champions League final in Athens next to Didi Hamann, who did not have a seat. He had to actually go and sit on the steps in the press box.
When you went 25.
What?
When you were 25 in 2007.
Yes, when I was 25 years old in 2007.
I remember.
Good point. Yeah. Derek was only 28.
Yeah, he was. He had hair.
Something like that, yeah.
But
I was there too, but I wasn't 28, but that's all right.
I like Didi a lot, but he came out and he said it's disgraceful, it's disrespectful, the Raiola Roadshow. I think it suits Dortmund because this release clause means that, fact of the matter is, if they wait a year, they're going to get a lot less money for him. So if they can drum up interest now, which I think is improbable, makes no sense for him to leave, then it's in Dortmund's interest. But what's your take? And is Hamann kind of isolated in moaning about this? Because Dortmund actually seemed pretty relaxed about it.
Yeah, I think Didi is a fairly sort of lonely voice on this one. I mean, the whole subject of release clauses, as Jules said, in France, they're not formally allowed. In Germany, they're very much part of life. I mean, that is the way it is with a big name player, and actually with coaches now as well. That's becoming a topic for discussion in Germany. What is the release clause for a coach? Adi Hütter, for example, at Frankfurt, that has been widely debated that there's a release clause for him. But
Marco Rose too,
Haaland,
of course.
Yeah.
Marco Rose, yeah, that was triggered by Dortmund. So, with somebody like Erling Haaland, Dortmund aren't complaining about that. It does give them an option. If, as looks likely, they don't make it into the Champions League, they can try to sell Erling Haaland if they see fit. They're saying that they're planning with him, but of course they're going to say that. And I don't actually have a huge problem with the notion of a release clause. I think that football does certain things its own way, as we know. We like some of them, we dislike others. I think here it's, let's face it, it's part of the scenery for a team like Borussia Dortmund. And we'll see. I think we have to watch the next few weeks to see exactly what happens, but I don't think they'll be in the Champions League next season. I think it's a bridge that's too difficult to make your way over. And so time will tell.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.